This guy saved my name as failure. What if I drop out? Somewhere we have given a lot of hype these days about the dropout culture, and now we are located in three different locations in India, and we also have our presence in Singapore. 16 different countries. We have client base to which we are expanding.
Work hard or work smart?
Neither. Don't work.
Hi Shanthan, welcome to Number Leader.
Thank you.
So it's really a pleasure having you here. So even before we get started, can we hear the famous Shanthan salutation?
Definitely. Morning, everyone. Can we do it together?
Yeah, absolutely.
On a count of 3, 2, and 1. Morning, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, that was really fun. So yes, Shanthan. So can we know a little bit about your professional journey?
So rather than putting about my professional journey, I'll just take a step back on why this journey. So that means a lot to me because most of us are in the game of understanding what has scope, what has demand. I'm sure even number leader, when you are trying to convey a lot about numbers to everyone, you end up getting one question that is, sir, it's okay, which has more scope, which have better scope, which has better demand. I think even I was there in the same culture and sneaked into because I was always a topper until 12th, or maybe I was topper in 12th, which led me for one simple question. You ought to take it a CA or a CS the moment you are a topper in commerce. I entered, but the game changed when I realized, no, this is not what I want. It's not about how did I enter, it's about how did I was writing my CA final. It wasn't exciting for me on a day-to-day basis for one thing that is it what I want? Is this what I was looking all these years for? Then how did I enter? In the name of scope. And why did I take an exit? Maybe because of realization. And that realization was a hard hit for me on a day just 3 months before exam. It was surprising. I got up as usual at 3:30 to study. I opened my book. I asked this question again. Is this really what I want? The next moment was a eureka to me. I thought, no. And the first time I had so much clarity in my life that a no can give you so much pleasure than an yes.
So much freedom, probably.
So much freedom. I just called my dad at 3:30 in the morning. I told, no, this is not what I want. I really want to stop this. Is it okay? Without hesitation, he didn't ask why. He told, are you thinking that you do not want to continue? I told, yes, dad, I don't want this. Next moment, he told, okay, do what you want. I think the question of freedom, what you're talking, that is the first moment I experienced, yes, I do not want. But the moment he agreed, my life changed. The confidence what I got, the happiness at which I was there was much more than the day if I would have cleared my qualification and felt happy about it. I think that changed. So maybe that is the day I felt more comfortable about myself, more confident about myself. You'll not believe, from that day I never had a look back. I took so many years of losing confidence. I had a hesitation of standing in front of people and addressing and conveying my own name to say, who am I? After that, I didn't have qualification, but I had more confidence in me.
Absolutely.
That
So
changed everything.
because of confidence over qualifications.
I can say everything.
Absolutely brilliant. So tell me, how did the society perceive it? How did the job market perceive it? So after you decided to say no or become a CA dropout, so what really happened after that?
Oh, that's major. Because I think everyone are scared about one thing. What if? What if I drop out? Or what if I come out in this way? What if, people think about what is that society perceive about it is a major of everything, I'll say. I think, let's put it this way. I had that already when I saw failure. In fact, I remember one of my friend, a classmate, obviously they are everything for us. So this guy saved my name as failure. Multiple times when I flunk in my exams, so he changed my name to failure. I remember in one of the wedding when I met, he told, look, this is what the name which I have saved. So I've seen all the downs. So I felt, what more? if I continue or drop out, or if I qualify tomorrow, I don't know whether he'll change my name. But I wanted that confidence to grow up than considering that, okay, let me clear because of him. So the society was always first until the day I dropped out. But after that, society was the last thing, because that is the day I believed myself, or I considered myself to be more important, or I gave a ruthless priority to me than about society. So the moment I considered that, I didn't really consider about what did they think. I gave a statement next day to my dad that in case if someone asks what happened, be confident enough to say to everyone that he dropped out. What next? That's up to me. Give me 1 year, I'll start my career about what I want. If you ask me, have I decided that what I wanted? No. I just decided one thing, what I do not want. And I was clear about it. So that is the reason being confident about yourself and being happy about yourself is more important, and knowing more about yourself is more important than what society thinks about you.
Mind blowing. So what actually happened? What next?
So it took a long journey for me to realize about what I wanted. So blindly I was understanding about one thing, that start realizing more about your strength, because all these 20 plus years I focused on my weakness. I was believing on what society said. I was believing on what scope and demand had for me. So after that I started realizing, okay, it's time, even if I have one strength, because the world has strength more than weakness. Unfortunately, we never realize the potential, because the weakness is dominating, because we are perceived about ourselves of what society thinks about us than what we think about ourselves. So I started understanding I might, or I will, or I shall possess at least one strength. So what is that? So all my days of college, I remember a lot of them calling me about one thing. Any conference or any issue or any aspect or any activity, I was the first person to hold on to mic. So they used to convey that I think you're only good at talking, nothing else. Now, first 25 years I focused on nothing else. And after 25 years I focused on my strength, you're good at talking. So I realized, okay, then most of them when they're conveying, is it right, is what I started asking. I started giving a lot of lectures. I started giving a lot of classes. That realized me about one thing. I am good at speaking.
So these were communication training or subject matter training?
Everything. Because when you are exploring, don't confine yourself for one single aspect. So that converted my journey on speaking to training to teaching. But one thing I realized, I'm confident in my talk. So now that has to be associated with subject knowledge. Now that has to be associated with your experience. Now that has to be associated with your skills. And combined basis, that becomes everything for you. And I made it a package, and then I started hunting. I got into a job. And then all this career, what I'm looking forward, started.
So what employment was this actually, and again, how did this employment get into entrepreneurship?
So meanwhile, I got into IIMB for understanding more about some skills which I can help for myself on a consulting line. So one of this company approached asking that, Shanthan, I heard you are from IIMB on a strategic consulting grounds. My company is already funded and we are unable to scale it. So now that's the worst part. Your theoretical knowledge and the practical knowledge are two different things. Unfortunately, we possess that. I got a qualification. I got an understanding about the subject. Can I go into market? No. Unfortunately, you can't, because your qualification itself cannot help you scale. So when this guy asked, rather than denying, I told, get me 48 hours. Within 48 hours, I did a complete survey about the company. And after 48 hours, I called him asking, can we have it? He told, Shanthan, I think this is not a right idea. But the reason tomorrow I have an investors meet, so let's cancel this. I told, anyway you are having a meeting, just give me 15 minutes. If I'm able to give a right input for you, why not? He agreed. In that investor meet, I started for 15 minutes conveying about his own companies and his own challenges, but I didn't end up there, but giving a model to say how to scale up. It was only an instinct understanding about why not add this as a value. By end of the conversation, that 15-minute went up to 2.5 hours. At the end of the conversation, they offered a role of vice president in the company, and they told that, why don't you come on board, help us scale the company. So that was my first job. So I helped the company to scale from X to Y.
Wow.
So that gave me a confidence by being on a CXO position that yes, I fairly understand how management is working. I briefly know about what things are going on. Why not I capitalize this knowledge in helping hundreds of others? Maybe that experience can help me to put across along with skill and package as a product to the market will change. And that's how my entrepreneurial journey began using my corporate experience.
So when did you start iSpeak? How many years has it been?
So almost at 6+ years, we are into this industry now.
And you have presence in multiple countries now, I believe.
Yeah, within the 6 years, we started with a small team, but today we are a team of around 7 directors. We are a combination of CA, we have a CS, we have an IITM, we have an IM, we have an NLS. So in this way, we combined multiple people into expertise language of a business experience. And now we are located in 3 different locations in India. And we also have our presence in Singapore. 16 different countries, we have client base, so which we are expanding more as.
Oh, that's fascinating. Good luck on that expansion.
Oh, thank you.
So also coming back, you spoke about converting your services into a product, packaging it in the form of a product. What do you mean by that?
So what we decided was every service industry has to understand this. Stop thinking about just converting your time into value. Start thinking about, can you package your entire service into a product? Because a product sells even when you're sleeping, but a service cannot sell when you're sleeping. So a service has to be physically made, but a product will sell even without that. So we wanted to convert that entire service into a product where a product sells by itself, either through technology or without technology. But if you are able to make the concept of S to P, a service into a product, that scales for itself. That's something which we define as such.
So do you at iSpeak have these kind of products, technology enabled products?
Fortunately, a lot of them, when we started supporting industry and scaling their business, people started appreciating and calling us that rather than you're a consultant, you're a doctor for our business. And that's how the term business doctor came into picture. So all our products are connected with medical terms. We scan a company. We give pills in the form of vitamins to a company. We do their ECG. We help them, that company, increase the better pulse rate for them to scale their business. So all our products are connected with the healthcare system, considering, we being business doctors. All these things happens through a system without any employee's presence. As in, me or any of the team member, not necessarily they should be there, but this scanning will happen for company to help them scale their business. So that's a model which we have built it in a form of a product. Now, even my trainee can generate business. Even my trainee can close the deal and execute a business. Not necessarily he should be a permanent employee in my company as well. That's a system which we have built it so that my service was converted into a product. Utilizing a system, even with the least number of hours, I'll be able to sell it and get it executed.
Beautiful. I see a lot of CAs and many other mid-small finance firms struggling to convey the kind of services they provide. But I think converting that to layman language, relating it to healthcare. So by doing this, you've beautifully packaged your product and branded yourself. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So moving on, tell me one thing. What inspires you the most?
Very hard question. I'll convey that the self-love inspires me the most. I don't believe in getting external motivation because all the videos what we watch stating that, okay, listen to him, listen to her, unless that is adding value, we won't. But in the process of realizing what adds value, we are also getting added with anxiety. Today, a lot of success mantras are there in market rather than skill mantra, rather than attitude mantra. So if you look at it now, when you start, I agreed for this interview for the reason, number leader is adding value. It's not adding anxiety to a person. So when a person is only listening to a story of success, when all the great leaders come across and convey about what is that and why is that they're successful, market only appreciates about the success, not the struggle. So in this process, the anxiety will increase. So I started realizing, stop thinking about what inspires the most externally, start thinking about what makes you happy internally. So I started getting inspired mostly from having self-love for myself and realizing what makes me happier. I'll start doing more about it. I'll start realizing more about it, and giving more time to myself has given more confident and inspired me more than getting external knowledge. I do not convey that don't take external knowledge. I only convey that take that external knowledge which only adds value, not anxiety to
So have a role model, but not competition.
everything.
Okay, very beautifully described. Good analogies. Okay, so coming back, and what is your biggest fear?
The biggest fear for me always was one thing, that we realize a most about it, and at a point of time we start thinking that can I do more? This is only adding pressure. Then should I not have a goal? Yes, you should. But having a short-term goal has become more important today in market than a long-term goal. As Jim Collins always used to say that, stop focusing on what you can do in next 1 year, start focusing on what can happen in next 10 years. Long term is the game. But today everything is shortened. It might be the videos, it might be the attitude, it might be the way we study. Everything has to be shortened. And the startup culture has added more pressure to convey that whether my employee size has increased from 0 to 500 rather than focusing on did I make profit.
True.
So that pressure of making everything on a short run has created this problem. To cut it down, we have rechanged or we have reconsidered the way which we need to look into, and we have redrafted this thing.
Okay, and what is your biggest vulnerability as such?
I focus too much on dropping my work. Because most of us, we have read this concept of deep work, 4-hour work. All these concepts have encouraged on one thing about how you need to make sure that you create a system and let that run the show. This is something which was my weakness way ahead. When I was in my college days, always I used to, make sure about how I can be more lazier. So this is still continuing to be my weakness. But did it help me? Absolutely. That has become my strength because of my laziness in certain activity, I'm getting more time to focus on adding value for me and my client.
I will still call that efficiency.
Maybe I agree with that.
Okay, and so if there is a finance or a management professional, who is an ideal finance or a management professional? Who would companies love to hire in this day and age?
Awesome. Especially I say that you are a professional, and that professionalism begins not by getting experience but by exploring yourself. I had a conversation recently with one of a CXO who's again my client. He was telling, Shanthan, I am dealing right from ITC to Mercedes as my clients, and all the Fortune 500 clients. I can say that at least 15% of the Fortune 500 clients are my clients today. So that is exactly what he was conveying. When he told, when I want to scale my business, I explored in multiple division of how technology can help and fit everyone. But only one profession helped me fit everything and everyone rather than taking multiple. I was like curious. Now, what is this all about? He told, the only profession which is helping me to fit my technology anytime to anything and anyone is finance. Finance is a lifeblood. If you take education, it fits until an age segment. If you take garments, it fits to an extent. If you take again FMCG or food and beverage, everything has a timing, everything has a limitation. But all these industries are dependent on one thing, that's finance. Doesn't matter what industry you're talking about, everyone does for money, everyone does for finance. If that is the case, understanding the core about finance will make a life change for everyone and everything rather than focusing on any other specialization. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't focus on medical, you don't focus on healthcare, you don't focus on garment. Whichever is your specialization, do it. But do every specialization as an attachment to finance. So finance itself is not an external activity for you to learn it. Finance is not just a standalone profession. Finance is an attached profession for every industry and everything. So when you are attaching yourself with any profession, I suggest attach yourself along with finance and not just a standalone subscription.
So when you say finance, are you talking about personal finance, or are you talking about corporate management finance or the larger economy, macro aspects of finance?
Let me start with as basic as money. If you are able to understand how money works, that's finance for me.
Okay, so going back to my earlier question about what are the must needed skills for a finance or a management professional. So you say understanding of money, that is the core, that is the essential skill. And apart from that, do you want to add on other?
I can convey about 3 important skill set any financial professional. So I gave a brief about anyone why they need to enter finance, but if at all you are entering finance, then 3 important skills any person has to possess. Number 1, as I told you about how money works. Number 2, now you need to understand whether you can add yourself with knowing about what is that specialization within finance which I need to get at. Now you need to segregate within finance about all those branches which possess. And you need to understand whether can I add value by being within that course. So you need to identify the categories within that. And third, the skill what you need to train yourself, and the most important trait any financial professional has to hold on is how this skill can be converted into money. Now this process of money to money is a between knowledge of how that skill can help you. Right. So that is a space where I look at on conversion of X to Y, of a money to money, and in between adding that skills by categorizing yourself and understanding your specialization is more important.
So leveraging specializations, leveraging skills and converting it to money.
Money is
money
more
to
important.
money. The process. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so Shanthan, can you tell us about your working style?
Most of the time I'll be seen not to be working. That's my working style. Because as in when you focus more about work, you'll not be able to scale your business. Today the big challenge with a lot of CXOs, which I also convey to my clients, is stop focusing on too much of work. Because the moment you enter office, you'll become more operational rather than focusing on creation of value. It's okay to spend personally. It's okay to, get added with skills. It's okay to meet others. It's okay to get network. It's okay to get connected to others rather than being in office. Because for me, it's not okay to be in office. If you are at office, if you keep doing operational things, how will you scale your business? I convey this to a lot of entrepreneurs that most of the times when they say that, Shanthan, if I'm out of my business for a month, business is gone. Then it means business is running because of you and you are the culprit. Your business has to run because of a system, not because of you. Who will design that system? You design that system. And then step out of the office. So stepping out is not like just randomly walking out saying that, okay, from tomorrow let my company work for itself. No, it doesn't happen. So your focus is to build a system and that system has to work for itself. Your focus is to build a team and the team has to work for itself. And your focus is to build a priority and the priority should be taken by the team. If you are able to do these 3 things, your company can run for itself without you. Unfortunately, we are attached with the tag that I am the most important person for my company. No, you are not. If you are not important in your company, that is when your company grows.
It's called as a God particle of entrepreneurship.
God particle, exactly.
Okay, cool. So tell us one advice that you would give for somebody who wants to become a CXO, CEO, CFO.
A CXO position is not about considering whether I have a skill, whether I can start something of my own. So the moment you start your business, you are a CXO already. So the attachment with CXO has to be knocked down. Rather, you need to attach yourself with skill. Rather, you need to attach yourself with knowledge. And finally, whether the skill and knowledge can convert into value for a customer. If that is happening, you are a CXO by being a trainee.
Okay, beautiful. So anybody can be a CXO.
Anybody, yeah. In fact, one of the book which I am writing, the chapter name itself is ABCDE. Anybody can be an entrepreneur.
Wow. Okay.
But anybody can be an entrepreneur with 3 clauses. That's your knowledge, your experience, and converting that into a value. That makes a difference.
Okay, Shanthan, so thank you for all the insights. Now, before we break off, can we have a quick rapid fire round?
Oh yeah, please.
Okay. What is that one thing that you love about an employee?
That he loves about himself.
So what is that one thing that you look for in an employee?
That he shouldn't think about company.
He shouldn't think about
He shouldn't think about company. That's when he thinks about himself. That's when my logic is, if he's growing, company will in turn grow. The problem with industry is they're all focusing, let the company grow, in turn I'll grow. No. The day when all your employees and your team is growing, company will automatically grow. So he shouldn't think about company, he should think about himself.
Next question. What is the purpose of money?
Okay. It's a byproduct.
One thing you hate about an employee?
That he doesn't add skills and values to his life.
Okay. Work hard or work smart?
Neither. Don't work.
Don't work.
Don't work. That's the way I say that. Don't work as in focus very less. So I focus on having a deep focused work rather than hard work or smart work. Smart work is we are trying to shrink everything. Hard work is we are giving a lot about everything. Shrinking or giving a lot, everything will deviate at a point of time. So make sure a deep and focused work will be much better.
Beautiful. Okay. Profitability and slow growth for companies versus scaling with losses.
I always prefer profit with scalability.
Beautiful. Qualification or skills?
All-time skills.
Skills or experience?
Skill added with experience.
You have to choose one.
Very hard. I still go with skills.
Okay. Qualification or experience?
Now when you choose that, experience comes first.
Okay. Qualification or connections?
Connections.
Skills or connections?
Connections.
Connections over skills.
Connections over skill.
Okay. Experience or connections?
Connections again.
Oh wow. So connections, who you know is more important than what you know.
Exactly.
Okay. Retire early or stay in the game?
I always say that stay in the game for a long run. Retirement is a myth. Sorry again. I would ask every person to stay in the game as long as you are. The reason is, when you love, there's no concept of retirement. When you hate, every day it's a retirement. So stay in the game, stay and have fun in that.
Shanthan, tell us one last thing. What is your life mantra?
Okay, let me put it in two simple things. My little secret which I always follow is, if you want to earn money and if you want to earn respect, then stop doing that. Rather, start helping others make money, start helping others earn respect. In turn, you end up making money. You end up earning respect. That's exactly what Amazon did. That's exactly what Ola, Oyo, Uber did. Each of these companies are helping others either save time, money, and resources. And that's how they're able to make it. So help others earn money and earn respect. In turn, you'll make a lot. Second, I believe the concept of success has been taken too much into pressure, and that's exactly why a lot of anxiety patients are turning up. If you are looking at this video, I'll always suggest there's only called as progressive and non-progressive. How you can differentiate it? Very simple. A person who's not progressing is only because he don't know what he knows. And he also don't know what he don't know. A bit hard. The person who's progressing, he knows what he knows. And he also knows what he don't know. So in short, to put it in one line, the person who knows what he knows and the person who knows what he don't know is the one who will be successful. Because he knows about himself. So start understanding. When you know what you don't know, you'll start adding that. You'll start adding that skill. And that changes the way we actually look at it.
Yeah, beautiful. Fantastic. So Shanthan, thanks a lot. In fact, I have learned a lot from this entire video. So from Number Leader side, this is a small token of gratitude.
Thank you so much. My pleasure. And alas, before closing, I'll always suggest that this is a great thing which you are doing. As I said that you are trying to add value again. So my last statement was mostly connected with you is what I'm able to understand. Because you are trying to make others add skill, in turn money and respect. So there's a great scope for each one who's watching this video, and good luck with your endeavor. I can assure one thing, with your experience and knowledge, you're doing a great task. Let this Number Leader flourish, and I'll be happy to be associated along.
Thank you, Shanthan. Thanks a lot.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Thank you. So finally, if you want to add skills and value to your life, stop being anxiety about everything. Start following, subscribing, liking Number Leader. I'm sure with his fun and experience, he'll enrich you with a lot of skills, which I'm sure you'll not be able to get it otherwise. Good luck.